It is now 4 o'clock. We're going to call this special meeting to order. And I want to thank everybody for being here, limited crowd. But we're going to do an adoption of an ordinance for the declaration of a local state of emergency related to COVID-19 and for other purposes. It's an item I do not cherish having to sign for what we're having to deal with here in Pickens County and our neighboring counties. But it's come to our attention and has been that our health organization, hospital that we have here, is having some entities and have requested that we take a stronger look at it, and this is what we're doing. This is why we have this call meeting. So I'm going to read this state of emergency. Whereas Pickens County has experienced an event of critical significance as a result of the coronavirus, COVID-19, on the 24th day of March 2020. And whereas there exist emergency circumstances requiring extraordinary and immediate corrective acts for the protection and health and safety of the citizens of Pickens County. And whereas to prevent or minimize injury to people and damage to the property resulting from this event, and therefore Pickens County declares that a local state of emergency exists. It is ordered that Pickens County Emergency Management Agency activate the County Emergency Operations Plan, and it is ordered that the emergency management ordinances adopted by Pickens County Board of Commissioners be operative on March 24th, 2020 at 4 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, I need a move and a second to approve this emergency status.
So moved.
I have a move and a second. Any further discussion? None being, I will go ahead and all in favor let it know by saying aye.
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 None opposed, thank you. All right. Now that brings us to the back sheet of the ordinance for declaration of a local state of emergency related to the COVID-19 and for other purposes. We have got a back page that's got to have signatures on it. Myself and Mr. Barnes will sign off on this. Do I need to move a second to approve it? Ms. Denny, I know you're on speakerphone, but we're going to need to move a second also for the act itself. It is 13 pages. And yes, you're privy to a copy, and Mr. Barnes here is privy to a copy. May I get a move and second to approve this?
So moved.
Second.
Have a move and a second. Any further discussion? None being, all that in favor let it know by saying aye.
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 None opposed, thank you very much. It has been approved. Mr. Barnes? Do we need to, is there any need for us to run by and have Ms. Denny sign it, or? Pardon?
Need to sign it next time.
Yeah. Becky, we'll just let you sign it whenever this thing kind of subsides a little bit and be sure. We got two signatures on it, and we're going to have Ms. Thompson go ahead and, with the county seal stamp on it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Considering that I have a compromised immune system, I appreciate being able to handle it that way.
Well, thank you very much for your participation. We appreciate you calling in. And Mr. Barnes, have you got anything to say?
No.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for being here. I hate that we had to do this for this occasion, but we've got to do something for the citizens of Pickens County and the safety thereof. Y'all have a safe week and a weekend, and hopefully this will soon pass and we will come out better for it. Y'all have a great week. Thank you. This meeting is now adjourned. Good afternoon. These are strange times as we go forward here for Pickens County. Just a few minutes ago, we signed a proclamation, me and the other two commissioners, in regard to the COVID-19 virus. What spurred us on to get to this point was the fact that for the last week and a half, we've been having meetings with Piedmont Hospital, along with the Sheriff's Department, City of Jasper, and a few other entities that have been staying abreast of the situation for the last week and a half, and that information has been going out. Also, the county has blended in with the public health on our county website, so the citizens here can see the day-to-day activity, which is updated every 7 to 12 hours through the Pickens County website and through the public health here in Pickens County. Now, let's get back to the order that we're doing here. It had come to our attention this morning that the hospital and we're having some issues with the amount of the virus and the percentages that it was increasing. And before we let this get out of hand, actions needed to be taken. And with the discussion we had this morning with a few individuals, quite a few, we decided to go ahead and process this. And as most of you all know, the city of Jasper has put theirs in effect, but it won't be, well, let me rephrase that. They have voted on theirs, but theirs won't go into effect till Friday. We want to go ahead and get ours started as soon as possible. So that being said, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what's in this and what it means. And right off the top, biggest thing that's going to be be drug into this document: grocery stores are going to stay open, drugstores will stay open, healthcare services will stay open, gas stations are going to be able to stay open, the banks, preferably drive-thrus, will stay open, builder supplies will be able to stay open in case you need to do anything to your house to upgrade it for whatever reason. Auto parts stores are staying open. You hopefully, heaven forbid, you have a dead battery or whatever, you can still be able to get batteries. Restaurants are capable of staying open as long as it's takeout or curbside. And the progress office will be, that's the legal guardian of the county, and for information going out, be handled through the progress office while it's not handled out through our website and through entities like Mary here with nopickens.com, and we appreciate her doing this for us. Liquor stores is also part of that, and that's another story entirely on account of on something expected for individuals that happen to partake in those and why. But as we go forward through this, it's still requiring social distancing requirements of 6 foot or more when you have to go to some of these places, Walmart for instance, and we're still expecting everybody to stay within at least within 6 foot of each other to keep this virus from spreading. And as we know, we all call that social distancing. And outdoor spaces are still, as long as you stay apart, we're keeping those operational. This building here that I'm in, the admin building, is an operational building, but we're not letting the public have open access to it because we're going to try to keep county going as normal as possible. We have got contact numbers listed on the front doors and all to call in, such as planning and development, house inspections, hopefully car tags, water department, and are staying open. We are looking at the employees of those areas of cutting down on the shifts to where we, if something, heaven forbid, does happen, we don't lose the whole staff. So we're looking at splitting those up. The road department is still fully operational. The water department outside is still operational. We got to keep those services operational and keep water to everybody within our system. The recreation center, even though the recreation building is closed, the recreation center is open, and we're still maintaining grounds, dumping trash cans, and trying to keep people separated best we can out there. Those items will be going on. All travel is still available, henceforth the gas stations and all being open to where the people can go to the doctors and all. I'm just kind of giving you a quick overview of what we've got here. This order is actually, it blends in with what the Governor Brian Kemp has done with 2 orders issued by the governor on March 23rd of 2020 as we go forward. The order actually comes after release some substantial guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and Georgia Department of Public Health and a few other public health officials throughout the United States in order to take this thing forward. Let me see here. To engage, you're still allowed to engage in outdoor activities, provided the individuals comply with social distancing requirements as defined in this section, such as, and by the way of example, without limitation, fishing, walking, hiking, running, golfing, tennis, bicycling. Those are still able to do that as long as you stay within more than 6 feet or more away. For the purpose of order, though, the individuals that live their residents to work to obtain services such as healthcare operations, which includes hospitals, clinics, dentists, pharmacies, pharmaceutical and biotechnical companies, other healthcare facilities, healthcare suppliers, home health care service providers, mental health providers, or any related and/or ancillary health services on what they consider as healthcare operations. Those are still viable and still operational. And it also includes veterinary care and all healthcare service providers to animals. Henceforth, the animal shelter in Pickens County at this time is still operational, but with the help of PAWS, which is a volunteer organization that has done great for Pickens County, all the animals are adopted out at this time. And they have helped us adopt these animals out in the last 3 or 4 days, and I want to thank them very much for what they have accomplished there, because we don't need to let the animals go, have an issue with what's going on with the dogs and the cats, so try to keep them healthy as possible. Healthcare operations does not. Now, healthcare operations does not include fitness, exercise gyms, and similar facilities. For the purpose of this order, also, individuals may leave their residence to provide any services or perform any work necessary to the operation and maintenance of essential infrastructure, included but not limited to public works construction and all related activities, in particular affordable housing or housing for individuals experiencing homelessness, airport operations, water, sewer, gas, oil refineries, of which we had some, roads and highways, public transportation, solid waste collection and removal, internet, telecommunications systems, including the provisions of essential global, national, local infrastructure for computing services, business infrastructure, communication, web-based designs, provided that they carry out those services or that work is compliance with social distancing requirements as defined in this section. For other purposes, this order of business includes any for-profit and nonprofit or private educational entities, regardless of the nature of the service, the function they perform, or its corporate or entity structure. Healthcare operations, essential infrastructure, pharmacies, drugstores, grocery stores, certified farmers markets, farm and produce stands, supermarkets, food banks, convenience stores, and other establishments engaged in the retail sale of canned foods, dry goods, fresh fruits, vegetables, pet supplies, fresh meats, fish, poultry, and any other household consumer product, such as cleaning and personal care products. This includes stores that sell groceries and also sell other non-grocery products and products necessary to maintaining the safety, sanitation, and the essential operation of residents. Food cultivation, including farming, livestock, and fishing, newspapers, television, radio, and other media services. And there again, auto sales, gas stations, auto supplies, auto repair and related facilities, hardware stores, businesses that provide food, shelter, and social services and other necessities of life for economic disadvantage and otherwise needed. We would like for people to stay enclosed 3 or more together, but as we know in reality, you have to get out and buy groceries, you have to get out and do things, and if you can just limit that to one individual and be prepared that that individual knows how to conduct him or herself with keeping their hands clean, be sure they're not getting too close to anybody, sneezing into your elbow, those type of personal hygiene advice would be welcomed. If you need to get plumbers, electricians, exterminators, contractors, and any other service providers who provide services that are necessary to construction and maintaining the safety, sanitation, and essential operation of residences, essential activities, and essential businesses. Businesses providing mailing and shipping services, including post offices and post office boxes. Educational institutions, including private K-12 schools, colleges, universities, for the purpose of facilitating distance learning or performing essential functions, provided that social distancing of 6 feet per person is maintained to the greatest extent, or email or IT type entities. Laundromats, dry cleaners, and laundry services providers are not included in this rule, and restaurants and other facilities that prepare and serve food, but not only for delivery or carry out. Schools and other entities that typically provide free food services to students or members of the public may continue to do so under this order, on the condition that the food is provided to students or members of the public on a pick-up and take-away basis only. Schools and other entities that provide food services under this exemption shall not permit the food to be eaten at the site where it is provided or any other gathering site. Businesses that supply products needed for people to work from home. Businesses or manufacturers that supply essential businesses with the support of supplies necessary to operate. Businesses that ship or deliver groceries, foods, goods, or services directly to residents. Airlines, taxis, car rental services, and other private transportation providers providing transportation services are necessary for the essential activities and other purposes expressed authorized in this order. Home-based care for seniors, adults, or children, and residential facilities including hotel, motels, shared rental units, and similar facilities and shelters for seniors, adults, and children. Professional services such as legal, accounting services, real estate services when necessary to assist in compliance with time-sensitive legal matters. And I want to rephrase that, with time-sensitive legal matters and other legally needed or mandated activities. Henceforth, the courthouse will be operational for those also. Unless otherwise preempted by state law, child care facilities providing services that enable employees to exempt in this order to work as permitted. To the extent possible, child care facilities must operate under the following mandatory conditions. Child care must be carried out in stable groups of 12 or fewer. Stable means that the same 12 or fewer children are in the same group each day. Children shall not change from one group to another, and if more than one group of children is cared for at one facility, each group shall be in a separate room. Groups shall not mix with one another. Children providers shall remain solely with one group of the children for the purpose of this order. Minimum basic operations include the following, provided that employees carry with social distancing requirements as defined in this section to the extent possible while carrying out such operations. These pages are 11 pages long. Please get familiar with them. We're looking at through April the 7th, I believe, is what we've got here. And at that time, we've got some options whether to make this go away or we could possibly renew it depending on what the circumstances are at that time. If you have any questions or anything that you would like to tell us in regard to initiating this thing, please don't hesitate to give us a call, and we will help you address your questions as soon as possible. I hope you all have a safe week and a safe weekend, and I know y'all got a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, but as we go forward, the safety and well-being of this county is of utmost importance, as well as keeping everybody fed, watered, and day-to-day activities kept normal as best we can. Thank you. Y'all have a great week.